Okay, now that all that's done with, let's get back to this. I was only able to plant a few flowers before tiring, but they look beautiful. That's good. Even though we're exhausted. Dear Sweatpants, I miss you too. I promise to spend more time relaxing so we can be together. Excuse me. Okay. Energy and social, eh? Can we just... will this be enough? Yes. Good. I really needed this. Felt good to take some time for myself. Yoga's great. Okay. It's no secret that Hugh's quite the charmer, so we need to work on our romance again. At the hot bath. Bath, bath, bath. Bath, bath, bath. Dead sea salts again. Forever and ever. Ooh, and another scene. Oh. The trendy woman snaps her fingers and barks yet another order at the intern, prompting him to adjust the vase, moving it slightly to the right. She murmurs a word of approval and then dismisses the boy with a wave of her hand. He promptly retreats and returns to his place behind the camera, looking altogether pleased to be out of her way. The persnickety woman is, in fact, a journalist for the popular fashion magazine, Marie Chloe. Despite her petite frame and short stature, an intimidating aura inexplicably exudes from her pores, making her completely frightening. Even the commands she issues in her high, breathy voice cause those around her to snap to attention. The magazine sent her, unfortunately, to capture a behind-the-scenes look at Hugh's life. His collections are growing in popularity, and unlike most fashion designers, he's still quite young and handsome, making him all the more popular. Sweaty men with cameras have been in and out of our villa for the past week, following us, mostly Hugh, in an attempt to capture his greatness on film. Really, guys, we live just like the rest of you, except this is the nicest place we've lived in yet. Particularly annoying was the time when the cameraman shoved a camera in Hugh's face while he was trying to brush his teeth, or the time he tried to get a wide-angled lens shot of our laundry room. Fortunately, today will be the last of the filming, finishing up with an interview with Hugh and I in our home. The journalist is trying to get the backdrop just right before we take our seats and begin the interview process. Normally, when Hugh does an interview, he's able to answer a few questions via email or over the phone. However, this magazine wanted to do an hour-long video feature, which has proven to be a huge pain in the neck. The edited video, they say, will be posted on their website, while a write-up showing stills from the feature will be printed in their next issue. Let's hope they don't choose the still of Hugh brushing his teeth. The woman claps her hands, apparently ready to start, and Hugh and I take our places in the elegant-looking armchairs designated for us. A red light appears just above the camera lens, and the journalist begins asking questions, pausing at brief intervals to look at her phone. I'm relieved at first at the questions asked. This particular interviewer is notorious for playing hardball, but all of the questions she's asked so far have been fluff targeted at Hugh. You know, things like, "What's it like to be so successful at a young age?" And, "From where do you draw your inspiration?" It's all stuff that's quite commonly asked, so Hugh's able to quickly regurgitate a predetermined answer. The journalist occasionally glances at me out of the corner of her eye, her smile vaguely mischievous, putting me at unease. I hope nobody took a picture of Lois sticking his tongue down her throat. After a few more fluff questions, she swivels and eyes me devilishly. "And finally, a question for Hugh's other half. Tell us, do you ever get jealous? Your husband works with the country's top models on a daily basis. Surely that causes some marital strain, does it not?" My jaw tenses as my smile disappears. Meanwhile, the journalist sits smugly, legs crossed innocently and head tilted as she awaits my answer. How do I even begin to answer such a question? Do I answer honestly, revealing to all of Marie Chloe's readers how insecure I am? Or do I lie and risk being found out? After all, it's not difficult to decode the nasty looks I occasionally shoot flirtatious models. Either way, there's no winning. Well, our thing said to be honest and kind. Honesty is the best policy. Come off it, Amy. Regardless of what brilliant excuse you think of, everyone will know you're lying. How could you not be jealous? In this type of situation, it's better to just be honest. Of course I'm jealous. How could I not be? I mean, have you seen some of the models he's worked with? Absolutely gorgeous. But at the end of the day, I know that he loves me, and I trust him. He could have married a model, but he didn't. Instead, he chose me. Because, I don't know, he's crazy or something. He takes my hand in his with a smile. I think that jealousy is a natural instinct. A reaction to your own insecurity. It'll always be there, lingering. But despite being insecure about myself, I'm confident in our love. Because of that, I know that he'll never cheat on me. Jealousy is just a fleeting thought that I'm able to quickly push out of my mind. The journalist bites her lip, clearly miffed that she didn't get a bigger reaction out of me. That was likely the whole point of this video feature, to catch something scandalous on tape. I'm not sure what to add, aside from that I agree. You nailed it, Amy. He squeezes my hand affectionately, and we share an endearing moment. The journalist almost gags in disgust. Well, I think that's all the questions we have for you. Thank you for your time. We'll begin packing up now. She wishes us well through gritted teeth. Clearly not the heated interview she was hoping for. As the cameraman begins putting away the lighting equipment while she scrolls through her smartphone, Hugh whispers something to me. That was really good. How you handled that, I mean. She was baiting you, and there was no easy answer. Thanks. I just thought I'd be honest. So, you really meant all of that? Of course, every word. Hugh's eyes soften, and he seems to look at me in a new light. He gives my hand another squeeze, and I grin, basking in his approval. My goodness, so much lovey-dovey. I'm gonna gag in a minute. Mostly because I'm out of water, but that's fine. We'll get through this, somehow. Clear my throat a little bit, maybe. Get back to gardening. And then we're back to trimming bushes like we do. Oh my, another scene. I anxiously open the Twitter app on my phone again. Upon seeing no new tweets, I close it and instead absent-mindedly stare out the window. I'm never sure what to do when I use a taxi service. Do I talk to the driver or keep to myself? Would talking to him or her distract them? Obviously I don't want them to get into a wreck. On the other hand, does checking my phone constantly seem rude? Does it seem like I think I'm too good to talk to them? The driver angrily taps his GPS again. The device keeps losing its signal and therefore the directions to my destination. He lets out a string of obscenities as he reconfigures the device and places it back in its windshield mount. I suppose it's better not to say anything to him then. He looks occupied. As we approach the downtown area, we run into an excessively slow-moving lump of traffic. Construction seems to be a constant here, and that joined with the rush of the weekday lunch hour equals unbearable halted to a standstill traffic. The driver unleashes a new slur of obscenities, some of which I have no recollection of even hearing before now, and I meekly opt to end both of our pain. If you let me out, I think I can walk the rest of the way. It's only a few blocks from here. He responds with an, "Are you sure?" that carries little hint of actual concern, because he's a robot. He's already out of his seat and opening my door for me before I can even answer his obligatory query. Okay, dude, you want me out of your car? I get it. I step out of the vehicle and onto the crowded downtown sidewalk, then fumble with my purse for a bit as I pull out my smartphone. With a few taps, I key in the restaurant that Hugh and I are meeting at into my GPS and pull out walking directions. 2.2 miles. Ugh. Farther away than I thought. I look down at my heels, instantly regretting that choice. I wish sweatpants and house slippers were acceptable attire for outside wear. I should mention that to Hugh. Maybe he could work his fashion guru magic and somehow make sweatpants in. I was gonna say, you are fashion designers. Make it a trend. Hey, it worked for yoga pants, so it's not that much of a stretch. As I'm striding down the uneven sidewalk, taking great care not to trip in my heels, I'm accosted by a familiar voice. Why are you still around? Get lost! Amy. I wobble onward, pretending not to hear Lois.
Amy, we need to talk.
I attempt to quicken my pace, but unfortunately I'm not adept at speed walking in heels. Lois soon catches up to me, with ease I might add, and it becomes impossible to ignore him any longer. What? What could you possibly have to say to me?
I'm sorry.
Not good enough. I turn on my heel, intending to storm off dramatically, but I succeed only in toppling over. Instinctively, Lois takes my hand in order to pull me up. Let go of me. I don't want your help.
Amy, please. Just listen.
His eyes carry a magnetic glimmer of sincerity, causing me to consider the notion. Part of me feels like I should give him another chance. Because, after all, everyone makes mistakes, but on the other hand, I kind of want to punch him in the throat. I would punch a little lower, but decisions. Purse my lips in frustration and check the time on my phone, thinking I can use my lunch with Hugh as an excuse. I'm disappointed to see that it's still 20 minutes until our designated meetup time. So I do, in actuality, have time to talk with Lois, but do I really want to? I got places to be. Look, I've got a lunch to go to, with my husband. Because I'm married, remember? It's this little ceremony that binds two people together for life. No big deal. I turn and start making my way toward the restaurant, albeit slowly due to my choice of footwear.
Amy, just listen to me.
Lois, get out of here before Hugh sees you.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Lois puffs out his chest a little, and I think back to the size difference between them. Okay, maybe my last statement wasn't as threatening as I thought. Look, I don't want to talk to you, okay? Seriously, leave me alone. We walk a few more blocks in tandem, and it occurs to me that Lois isn't going to give up anytime soon. I need to get rid of him before Hugh arrives, though. I don't want another scene, especially with Hugh's new collection launching soon. We don't need any bad publicity right now. Why are you still following me? What? What is it that you so desperately have to tell me, huh? Immediately, Lois's eyes light up. Seizing his chance, he grabs me by the shoulders and looks me square on. What? What are you talking about?
Amy, I love you.
I blink, nonplussed. You... what? No. Come off it, you just want a little fun. You don't actually care about me.
You're wrong. I haven't met anyone like you before.
He takes his hand in mine, and I quickly jerk it away from his grasp. His words seem so cliched, but I can distinctly remember hearing similar sentiments from Hugh when we first met. They do actually have similar personalities, now that I think about it. So then, is Lois for real? Or are they both liars? I don't know. All I know is that I feel uncomfortable and I have these weird, confusing feelings. And how does Amy deal with her problems? She runs from them, of course. I bet you thought I was going to say I deal with my problems head on or some nonsense like that. Pfft, no. I'm an adult. We run from that mess and hope that it resolves itself. Duh. Amy, I'm glad you said it. Before I know it, I'm sprinting down the sidewalk like a pro, weaving in between disgruntled office workers returning to work with their sub sandwiches. Sub sandwiches? Can you just say subs? It's amazing how I suddenly gained the ability to run with heels on at just the right moment. It must be the adrenaline causing me to achieve amazing things. You know, like that mother that was able to lift that car off of her baby? Well, maybe not exactly like that, but you catch my drift. As I arrive at the restaurant, I'm surprised to see Hugh already there waiting for me. Amy, what's wrong? Why are you all sweaty? Were you running? Yeah. I respond hesitantly, unsure how to play this off. Why? I was afraid that I'd be late. That's never stopped you before. True. That's true. Not the best excuse for someone who's habitually late. Think, Amy, think. Seriously, what's the reason? I'm fine. It's just... I'm not used to walking downtown, you know? I thought I might bump into some unsavory people. I was scared. Really? He presses his fist to his chin in deep thought. I'd always considered this a safe area. If it makes you feel better, we could look into getting you some pepper spray. Maybe a taser? No, it's fine. I wave my arm dismissively at the idea and try to regain my composure. I was overreacting, that's all. Let's just sit and enjoy our lunch, okay? Alright, if you don't want to talk about it, then that's cool with me. Hugh pulls out his phone and scrolls through, having already looked at the menu and made his selection. I hold my menu up, hands still shaking from my encounter with Lois, but the jumbled mass of emotions fermenting in my stomach hardly leaves room for any appetite. Should have just told him, you big dum-dum. Such a big dum-dum. Run. Have a rest. And yoga. Looping around the park. Look at them squirrels. And then some yoga. Good stuff. Diligence. We're not even gonna go to the museum this time around, it doesn't look like. Poop. I wonder if we're gonna run into any of the other guys on this route. Like Eddie. We always seem to run into Eddie. Not that I mind. Normally, except he's kind of a douche when it's not his route. Sally's bedroom? Wow. Yeah, I know, Gwenda. He takes longer to get ready than I do. I lay flat on the bed, phone pressed against my ear, and peer into the bathroom to see if Hugh heard me. A slightly disgruntled Hugh appears, pokes his tongue out at me, and then returns to his position in front of the mirror. Don't be such a girl, I yell impatiently, kicking my shoe into the room after him. Put your shoe back on. We're late. Stop messing with your hair. We're late. Hey, I actually care about my appearance. I know you like to rock the whole homeless lady look, but that doesn't fly with me. I roll over and continue my conversation with Gwenda. Yeah, I'll have to let you go now. Hugh and I have another boring party we've got to go to. The high life really isn't as glamorous as it looks. These parties? Not so fun, especially when models are invited. Talk about needy, clingy, attention-desperate... Amy? Yeah, Gwenda? Is Hugh wearing his ring? Yeah, of course. He always wears his ring, so do I. Is he wearing it now? Yes, didn't you hear me? Did you check? Well, no. Check! Gwenda? Gwenda, what's this about? Amy, I don't know how to tell you this. Have you been keeping up with the news? Several paparazzi have captured pictures of Hugh not wearing his wedding ring. I've even read some gossip articles floating around that suggest Hugh's cheating. That's ridiculous. I know, but it would be good to check. Hugh would never... I would never what? Hugh interjects from the bathroom mid-teeth brushing. Nothing, Hugh. Private conversation. He spits, then enters the bedroom, some toothpaste still in the corner of his mouth. A private conversation about someone else? I believe that's called gossip. Seriously, it makes me uncomfortable when people talk about me behind my back. Then you should consider a career change. What was that? I frown, unenthused about having this conversation, but deeming it necessary regardless. I'm going to have to let you go, Gwenda. I press the call end button and then drop the device on the bed next to me. Gwenda says paparazzi have got pictures of you without your wedding ring. Care to explain? You're going to trust Gwenda about pictures you haven't even seen with your own eyes? Gwenda's old, Amy. Her memory's been off for years, and we both know it. She probably got me confused with someone else. Confused? With whom? How many celebrities do you suppose she personally knows, Hugh? My gaze drops to his ring finger, and lo and behold, his band is absent. Why would you tell such a bold-faced lie like that? Why aren't you wearing it now? He reddens and spits out a hasty response. I left it next to the sink. I took it off to wash my hands. Go put it on. His frown deepens. He stands stiffly for several moments, unsure what to do until finally relenting. Alright, you got me. I misplaced it earlier. We'll look for it together after the event, but for now, let's go. We're late enough as it is. Hugh removes his jacket from the closet and puts it on, hoping I'll follow suit. Be honest and kind. I'm gonna save, though. I don't know about this. Okay, let's look for the ring now. Yeah, we can do this. It's important. The event can wait a few minutes. Finding the physical symbol of our marriage is a little more important, don't you think? When did you lose it, anyway? How long have you been hiding this from me? I don't know. It was a couple of months after we'd been married, I think. He speaks slowly, carefully choosing his words. Right after we moved in here, when I was unpacking boxes, probably. I couldn't remember where I'd placed it, and I figured I'd stumble upon it eventually. Excuse me? This place, though, it's so huge. I haven't found it yet. So you figured you'd just find it someday, huh? You didn't even look? Looking just felt like wasted effort. I mean, I'm going to find it eventually. You didn't even try, Hugh. Fine, if it's so easy, then you find it. Fine, I will. I accept his challenge hastily, not wanting to appear weak. Hugh crosses his arm and leans against the bedroom wall as if to torment me. It'll be easy. I just have to think like a conceited jerk would. Pfft. Hugh rolls his eyes but still remains silent. Well, I can cross the kitchen off the list. It wouldn't be there since you never cook. It's probably near a mirror somewhere. You spend an ungodly amount of time admiring yourself. Well, it's not in the bathroom if that's what you're thinking. No, that's too obvious. I bite my lip and exit the room, flitting to various places around the villa. Ooh, a villa. When do people take their wedding rings off? Washing their hands? No, then they'd be next to the sink. Too obvious. Cleaning? Ha! As if Hugh's ever cleaned anything in his life. No. As I walk around the villa, I spot the pool outside. Swimming! The chemicals in the pool can discolor your ring, not to mention the cold water shrinks your fingers and makes the ring easier to slip off. Hugh would definitely take his ring off before swimming. I go out onto the patio and into our pool house, checking the drawers in the bathroom area. Sure enough, Hugh's wedding band is tucked safely away among the drawer's contents. Wow, I'm so impressed, Amy. Those terrifying eyes again. I return victoriously to the bedroom, holding Hugh's ring triumphantly above my head. Checkmate, loser. Hugh springs to his feet. He had been sitting on the edge of the bed checking his phone, and snatches the ring from me, turning it over in his hands as he inspects it. But how? It was in the pool house. Of course! Wincing at his stupidity, he presses his palm to his face. I always take it off before a swim, but I haven't gone swimming since we moved in, basically. That's how owning a pool goes. Use it all the time when it's new, then it's like you get sick of swimming after a while. What a waste of money. Yeah, good thing we've got plenty of it. Hugh stretches out his arms and engulfs me in them. You're awesome. Mine like an elephant. Don't compare me to an elephant. It really kills the moment. Who's my sexy little elephant? Hugh whispers the words into my ear, then moves his lips down my neck, kissing bits of skin as he does. You're really bad at the whole dirty talk thing. And weren't you the one complaining about being late? We can be a few minutes late. Or like, an hour. Wearing a sly smile, I gently push him off of me. Save it for later, Casanova. We've got a party to rock. You two are too freaking cute. I can't stand it. Gosh.